Good night. Pardon me. It's darn cold. AJ Mahari here. Oh yeah, right. Forgot to say my name. You never know. Somebody could be new here. Comment response again to a commenter that left a comment on my to a comment. Okay, on the video I did, this comment comes: BPD breakup. What is the BPD final discard? Oh, same one that the same commenter commented on that as part of the last video. Okay. So the commenter, after all that they said, if you reference the last video, it hasn't been uploaded at the time I'm recording this, so I don't know what the title is yet. Sorry. But this commenter says, same commenter says, is a favorite person burned forever, so to speak, or is it possible for a former favorite person to build a healthy friendship with a person with BPD at some point in the future? Ooh, wow, okay. Why do I say, oh, wow? Because I understand this is very difficult for people. But why is it that so many people aren't understanding yet or keep denying? And is it just codependent denial, or what is it, or what do you think? Are you experiencing this? Please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like the video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. So this is an interesting question, and it's also one that I get a lot of these types of questions, which is fine. But I guess what I really want to say is these questions sometimes sadden me a little bit, because I'm really hoping that people will at least learn, and maybe over time, but after you've been with somebody with BPD, and I think this person, I don't know if they were in a relationship with someone with BPD, but they were somebody with BPD's favorite person, which is not an enviable position or role to be in, right? Because it's very close to being in a relationship with somebody with BPD. You have codependency, and you're having to try to do everything for them, help them, try to explain things to them, talk to them, because you're trying to rescue them, fix them, change them, and it's enabling, and all of that. And the thing is, so here's this person that I guess got burned or sort of discarded as a favorite person, right? And then they're like, are you burned forever? Well, I would think with favorite person status, pretty much, yeah. Just like in some relationships when the borderline does ghost or split to devaluation discard, and it can be a final one. People might not know it yet, but the borderline might, have the kind of pattern where things are, Toby, where things are definitely, they're not going to look back. Many do, many don't. But it's usually not possible to build a friendship, and this person said a healthy friendship. That's just not possible. Because if someone still has codependency and they still want to, in one way or another, like get back to being the favorite person or try to build a healthy friendship with a person with BPD that discarded them as favorite person, where's any health in all that, right? And the person with BPD, they need years and years of therapy to heal, recover, and really change and learn how to connect to people, learn how to relate to people, and see the other person, and not just relate to the other person as object, other, whatever the role might be. So the answer, from everything I know, is no. You can't build a healthy relationship with a person with BPD that discarded you, burned you, as the commenter said, discarded you as their favorite person. You won't even probably get a chance at friendship again. Toby, I don't know what he's up to over there. You might not even get a chance at friendship again. But more to the point, a healthy one? No. And then, at some point in the future, my question to the commenter, but my question in general to people who might resonate with this question or wonder the same thing, is why can't you have it be over for you? What is it that makes you want after probably some painful experience from the person with BPD, what is it that makes you want to have anything with them in the future? I think this is specifically a very codependent way of thinking, very codependent way of trying to avoid the end of anything to do with people with BPD or NPD cluster Bs. And it's not healthy. I wonder what you think. Please leave a comment below and let me know what you might think about this. If you've been in this kind of place or still are, like with a relationship with somebody with BPD that's kind of off or kind of over but not, you're not sure in this final way, or you're still hoping somehow to get back, if not back with the person with BPD in any relationship type, like favorite person, or if they were your girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband and wife, you may still be thinking this too. Well, down the road in the future, could we like be friends? Could we build something, quote, like a healthy friendship? You know, the answer is no for so many reasons, and I've talked about this a lot. And I think what I'd really like to do with this video is ask you, because this channel needs some more engagement, ladies and gentlemen. Do you have anything to say about this? Please share below. I'm not going to judge, and when I use people's comments, you know, like as educational tools, and I do respond to people's comments in video, it's never with disrespect or any judgment whatsoever. The thing that blows me away a tad about this, which is not a judgment statement, is how many of you out there with codependency, with whether you were in the favorite person role, whether it was a friend, a family member, or a partner, and now it's kind of over and it's off and it's gone, but like you still think maybe in the future somehow it can change. Why do you think that is? Because I would assert to you that it has mostly probably to do with the denial within codependency, and with how people with active codependency aren't really able to let go. So you're not going to your own grief and your own letting go of a broken, you know, if you were a favorite person, you know, them discarding you, or if you're in a relationship, or if it's a sibling that you just don't know what to do with anymore. You care about them or you love them, but you really can't communicate to them. You really can't stay in contact with them. And yet then people are always thinking, well, in the future, maybe we'll come, as if it's meant to be somehow that you will find a friendship with the favorite person, or get back with the ex, or find a friendship with the ex. My question is, why on earth do you even want it? Because it is self-abandoning to even want it. You know, you're in pain maybe right now, and you're thinking about this, so you're projecting yourself into the future when you haven't yet healed from your immediate past, let alone maybe your family of origin and your childhood woundedness. That is why you have codependency in the first place. So, I don't know, maybe I just learned something differently over the course of my life experience. But, you know, I mean, when I was codependent and I had that relationship with a BPD, NPD alcoholic, after I ended that, so it ended once, but it wasn't really the end, just like so many of you are going through. And just as I started to kind of try to move forward, I got hoovered an email. And yeah, I suckered for it, or whatever language you want to use. I'm just using that language about myself. And then it was like, we started visiting each other again, or she would come and visit me. And then it was like one thing led to another, and then I would move again with that person. Like, there's no logic there, right? And then I would be getting more isolated, because there would be 3 moves, 3 breakups, 3 hoovers, 3 moves. I can't even believe that when I think back to that, because if anybody would think I would do that for them today, be absolutely like, see ya, it was nice knowing you, no matter how much it would break my heart. So the thing of it is I can look back at that situation, which was, you know, this hoovering part of it and whatnot was like about, well, there was one incident in 2004, because I got groomed by this person in late 2003 into 2004. And the other one must have been either end of 2004, somewhere in the beginning of 2005. And then there would come another one in 2006. And that would lead me to like really have a finality with a breakup and But even when I was letting her know that, because she had to come pick up some belongings that were in my apartment, even when I let her know that on the phone, I bawled, I cried, I was feeling so bad for her. I was still negating myself. So these questions, and to the commenter, basically, yes, when a person with BPD discards you as their favorite person, that's it. And it needs to be it for you anyway. And so, why are people always thinking with a favorite person, X, a BPD, on, off? Whatever happened to the BPD relationship breakup that people are trying to survive? Of course, there are people who are surviving that and working through that. But there are even more people, by vast numbers, I think, given all my experience, these questions and clients I've been working with over time, that just can't envision a stop sign. There isn't a big enough red flag in the world for it to be a stop sign. Because you don't have a healthy relationship to and with yourself. And people with codependency, I say this very gently, your lack of self-worth, your lack of self-esteem means you don't even know how to just be with you and choose you. Putting self first to take care of yourself. So I hope this commenter, doesn't think that I'm trying to be in any way adversarial with the previous comment video and this one. But people with BPD, unless until a lot of treatment, are extremely unstable. They lack a self. They're relating to you in unconscious repetition compulsion ways that they don't see you. They don't hear you. This is true if you're the favorite person too. You're not really seen. You're not really heard. And most of everything is going to be about them. And they don't reciprocate. So what's really in it for you besides the codependent repetition compulsion cycles that maybe you're not aware enough yet that you are in unconsciously, and what it really means, and who are you really trying to rescue, and why do you want them back in your life in the future? Because you can't know right now from where you are if you feel this way, like the commenter wants a, quote, healthy friendship with a former favorite person with BPD that discarded them. It's just not even realistic. Why would anybody want that? So what I would just urge you to think about, and please comment, what are you thinking? Where are you at with stuff? Why is it so hard? Do you feel blocked? Would you like to be able to work on, what, and find out more about what it means, why you're self-abandoning, and why you're always putting that person with BPD first, and then you're projecting yourself into the future, and you're not even hardly dealing with the now. Lots of people aren't coping very well with the now. Lots of people aren't coping well with the immediate past of the relationship or the favorite person role. And what do you think the future is going to bring that's different? And you're projecting yourself into the future before you have a chance to heal. Because once you go through the healing recovery journey, and I'm out here to work with clients, I'm out here to work with people who want to do that because I've got 33 years experience doing that with people, helping you to heal and recover. And it's a multi-layered process. But when people work through this, they don't project themselves into the future. They're not looking for, will I ever get the ex back or the favorite person, or can we be friends again? Or not even people that are co-parenting with high strategy in place, that as soon as they can, they know they want to go no contact. When that child is old enough and when, of age, I guess, and or something else changes. It's not like people in co-parenting situations. I've worked with many people in co-parenting situations with their ex with BPD, and they want out the minute that they can get out of that situation too, but they have to be there for their kids, right? But the thing is, think about this. Really think about this. I'm not just sitting here saying stuff that is somewhat repetitive because the questions are, because a lot of people are consistently asking the same questions because you're still somewhere in this limbo place of not only the breakup not being final, you're not accepting it yet. You're not choosing you yet. But also this limbo place of you're projecting yourself into the future and you haven't dealt with the recent past or your past. And you're having trouble coping with the now. So the answer is no, because once you've had the opportunity with somebody with BPD, in whatever relationship type, And when they show that they're not going to go get treatment, and even if they get into therapy, it's not going to save the relationships. It often doesn't even save familial relationships. So a sibling with BPD, another sibling goes no contact, and that sibling recovers and goes on. It's like I recovered and I've healed and I've gone on. And there are people that I knew years ago, decades ago, that, I hurt and I ostracized, and they went no contact from me even before we had that lingo for it. And, I'll see some of them around sometimes. And now, because a long, long time has passed, they'll sort of nod their head at me or go, how you doing? I'll go, how you doing? And we might have a couple of general words, but that's it. Because you know what? The fact that I healed, recovered, changed, grew, went on to do things differently. There were maybe 5 or 6 people from my past, they couldn't care less, and why should they? So I've never thought anything negative about them, because I've always understood that they took care of themselves. And that's what they needed to do. And then the fact that I changed doesn't mean that, and matter of fact, there is someone, I'll just give you this example. There is someone who is an old friend of mine that, ghosted me or whatever. Not ghosted me. Changed their phone number and didn't want to deal with me anymore way back, decades ago. And, we've been at some functions and things over the years, both at the same time, but, there was no talking or anything like that, and I would not approach that person. I would not disrespect their boundary whatsoever. And then recently, over the last few years, it's been happening that this person is trying to reestablish a connection with me now. And I'm not going to do it. But it's not because I harbor any ill will or anything. From my point of view, I know that they did what they needed to do to take care of themselves decades ago. This is like almost 40 years ago now. And of course, we were a lot younger who this person is, right? But the thing is, my answer is just no. Because I know how hard that leap might be for this person, even though they've heard a lot about me over the years. I've seen them off and on at other functions, gatherings where I've left them alone and respected, and it hasn't been acrimony or difficult. And they have a level of comfort with, if I am somewhere, they don't feel like they have to leave because they know that I'm not going to bother them. But now they want to reconnect with me, and I'm like, no. Because, I'm not the person that they knew. I'm not the person that they originally wanted to be friends with, though a part of me was probably there. And I don't know who they are anymore, right? So it has nothing to do with the fact that they went no contact from me many, many decades ago. It's just, I've healed long time ago. I've changed. I have my life going on. And the answer is no. I won't look back. This is not the first person actually to try to reconnect with me, but this person has been kind of not respecting my boundary, ironically enough, over the course on and off of the last 4 years. And there's been, different emails, and it's not somebody that I can entirely block, because some of the emails that we get and some of the emails this person is emailing go to a general email list, which is about something in the community. So anyway, I won't belabor the point, but you see, this is what happens on the other side from codependence, that when people, I really healed and recovered, and I will not engage or reconnect with this person who's been trying to do that with me for 4 years, through various means and methods and things, because no acrimony, no hard feelings, just no. And this happens if somebody heals and recovers, and you were their partner. And if they really, truly heal and recover, they won't be looking back your way. They just won't. Because when you heal and recover from these processes wherein, I know that I hurt some people, none of this monkey branching relationship crap, none of that. But I hurt some friends, and I lost some friends. I respect that. I understand that. I've been through therapy. I get it, right? And then somebody wants to reconnect with me. I'm like, no. I am who I am now. I have the life I have now. I've moved on. They need to keep walking the path they've been on. I don't know what it's about or why, but I don't know who they are anymore. So, and I could just say, if, like my first ex, who won't, but if she ever popped up again and say I was single, not a chance, not a chance. Of course, she would have had to do her own healing and recovery work too. But no. And then another ex of mine, it was a very healthy relationship. I've talked about it before. I'll just say this quickly. That I let her go. I broke up with her out of love because she wanted children. I didn't. We discussed that, but she changed her mind. Then she was trying to change me. And I didn't want to wait for the high conflict. I didn't want to wait till like we couldn't even talk to each other because I wasn't going to change my mind. So I had a long talk with her. We talked a lot. It wasn't exactly a mutual breakup, but she started to understand. But she was angry with me for several years. But now she's still a best friend of mine. Like for a while we didn't talk. She didn't want anything to do with me. She met someone else. They have 3 kids. They're happy. She's happy. And I'm like part of the family. That's kind of a lesbian thing probably. But the point is anyway, I let her go in love because, and if she would have never come back or she would have stayed angry or when she went on to another relationship and then she had her first child, if she contacted me. I didn't go after bothering her. And in that case, yeah, because I still love this person, not in that way of relationship, like significant other. But I really still love this human being because we just had to part ways because of incompatibility. So people with codependency, really, I hope you can start to understand that you're projecting yourself into the future out of your pain of the here and now, your difficulty coping, whether it's over, whether it's limbo, whether you don't know, and you haven't healed and dealt with the past or the recent past, and you're trying to go forward. And all of that is the way that people with codependency keep trying, and often unconsciously, but somewhat knowingly on many people's parts too, you keep trying to avoid where you have to go. Focus on yourself in therapy, in a healing recovery process. Focus on yourself. And yes, you have to turn into the wind of the adversity, of the pain that awaits you to grieve, so you can heal. Take care.